For the next 48 hours, I am going completely off the grid to live at a hunting cabin with an indigenous family in Northern Saskatchewan. To get here, you need to drive 6 hours north of Saskatoon and hitch a 2-hour motorboat ride through the Saskatchewan Delta. There is no power here, no neighbors in any direction for over 60 kilometers, but there is one family that calls this part of the world home all year. Now, there are a lot of things that I want to show you here, so let's get started. Now, in order to get to this lodge, it's actually boat access only, so we've got to take a 1-hour boat ride all along the Saskatchewan River.
We should introduce Derwin here. Is our guide today, getting us safely there. If you can see him, he is there. He's just in camouflage.
Well, we can see it just over there. After an hour and a half of being on the boat, we can finally see the lodge just straight ahead. And we've arrived.
We're here.
We're here. Okay, you're very interested in me. I'm very interested in you too, but I'm recording. I got a job to do. No. Oh. I thought I was coming here for service. Now, I can tell you already that I love this place because among the flags that they've got standing right there is a Montreal Canadiens flag. It's always nice to have a piece of home wherever you go. And of course, I've got Calvin here who just won't leave me alone.
So this is Solomon. Solomon, where in the world are we? And what's your connection to it?
We are basically in the heart of the Saskatchewan River Delta. What's behind us is some buildings that we use for where we live, where we eat. The indigenous people have been here for thousands of years, and it's been home for a long time in my family.
This is Mike and I's cabin for the night. We've got 1 double bed and 2 bunk beds. This is how we stay warm. We've got our own furnace. You can tell that this is definitely a Canadian lodge because we're using hockey sticks to be able to hang our clothes up. This is our home for the next 2 nights, but if you can't tell behind me, it's pitch black, and so I'll show you the rest of the grounds tomorrow, but right now, it's time to hit the sauna. All right, buddy, I'm just gonna go work on my mental health. Thank you. Welcome to the sauna. Now, of course, this is a wooden sauna room that the 2 hosts built themselves.
So we've got a bucket of water here on top of the fireplace. Scoop the water, pour it onto the rocks. Instant steam room.
Oh, man. Oh,
That's hot. That's hot.
Really hot.
There's no way this is true. It says it's 80 degrees Celsius.
That's might be the hottest thing I've ever been in.
Open the door. Open the door. The camera is as sweaty as we are right now. Look at that lens.
Now you're back.
Our guard dog.
There he is. Yeah, make sure no one comes in, please. We're gonna relax now. Next up is the shower, but in order to get that started, we've got to come out here and get some cold water. We've got what we need here, and then we're gonna take this bucket and we're gonna put it all the way up here so that it sticks in. Oh! Woo! Oh. That was nice. Now, like I said, we're in Northern Saskatchewan. We are in the middle of nowhere, and we are unobstructed by any other buildings. And what that means is it will leave us with views like this. Now, there's no cell service here. There is no power turned on right now, so the entire resort is grounded. Now, if you can't tell that it's cold, well, take a look at the ground. Everything currently is frosted. You see its original color. It's brown, but it's all covered with just a little bit of snow. You know what that means. Winter is coming, but it's not gonna let us stop ourselves from heading on the beach and watching a view. And I can honestly say for the first time in my life, I can guarantee that I will not run across anybody if I just stay here for a little bit. I mean, it could be quiet in a lot of places, but this is pure tranquility. Now, the reason why it's called the Big Eddie Lodge is not because Eddie is a particularly known figure here, but it's because the camp is located right next to an eddy, and an eddy is just a part of the water that flows against the current and provides you with safety and comfort from the surrounding current. So if you understand where the illusion comes from, well, this place provides you with safety and comfort in Northern Saskatchewan. And I'm being followed around by the 2 dogs right now, Susie and Calvin. Now Susie actually just gave birth to 10 puppies, so let's go and check up on them. We'll try and be quiet, but look at how cute they are.
So cute.
That's the cutest little sneeze ever. There are no gyms nearby, but Saul has had other options to get in shape, and fat biking is one of his favorites. He's bringing us down a 30-kilometer path that he has built and maintains himself. A path that he shares not only with those who visit him, but also the wildlife he coexists with. Nature plays a humongous role in the life of the indigenous people, and naturally, those experiences create a lot of interesting stories.
So I'm traveling here. I was trapping, and we're still using dogs as transportation. There was water here on ice, so I tested the ice, and it was good. And so I went back to my dog team, and I went across the river. And at the end of the day, I come back. As I'm driving along, I just said, "Okay, Maggie, go." We get to the middle of where I'm going to get to the other bank, and the ice around us breaks. And there's a good current because the water is high, and I'm starting to go under the ice, and I'm swimming and thinking, this is it. It's about 30 below. Finally, the dogs start making some ground. I could just still remember the claws on the ice, and she's pulling and finally gets the back two dogs up on the ice. And then I was free. It's a privilege to deal with nature's
So
laws.
close.
Solomon, can you do your moose call for us?
Okay.
There he is. It's the moose. All right, so we've been here for over 24 hours, and so far we have spent a lot of time with Saul and Renee and have learned a lot about indigenous culture from them, a lot more than I knew. It has been literally the best insight that I could have gotten into indigenous life and into life in Saskatchewan beyond the two big cities. That's really cool. Canada has a lot to offer, way more than I think either of us knew. And even though most of today has been on land, well, Saul is really known for what he does on the water. You're a world champion marathon canoeer, right? How many?
At one time, yes, yeah.
How many times did you win?
4 times I was lucky enough to be with good partners and win. Yeah.
So Saul, have you ever used a gym before?
No.
No.
I've lifted big weights if I'm lifting a moose.
Right? So he's gonna bring us canoeing. Yes, he's gonna bring us canoeing in November in Northern Saskatchewan.
You sure this is a canoe?
This is a souped up kayak.
Yeah,
It's the Ferrari of canoes.
Feel this.
Oh my, like, it's lighter than air.
Canoeing has been a part of Solomon's life forever. In fact, just to get to the nearest town, he would have to do the same 1.5-hour motorboat ride we took, except on a canoe and then back. When you hear that Solomon was a 4-time world champion marathon canoeer, it just seems to make so much sense. Being in a canoe on the water is part of his life. It always was, and it always will be. And for us to join him on a sunset ride through the Delta is, well, everything. This has to be one of the most peaceful moments that we've had on the entire trip. And it reminds you that life is fast, but sometimes you gotta take it slow.
There is not a sound at all day.
Literally nobody around us, like for miles.
60 kilometers is the nearest neighbor.
That almost makes you feel a little bit insignificant, because like we could live here for the rest of our lives, and yes, people would miss us, but we don't really need to be in society to have a fulfilling life. They're really happy people. They're really satisfied with their lives, and not once do they think about whether they need to have neighbors or phones or technology. What they do have though is each other. They've got canoes. They have the ability to hunt and fish, and they really have everything they need here. I don't think any of them are angry. Hello. Hi. You want to say something? Oh, okay. No, I'm not food. And they have Calvin. I think Calvin really makes the world go round over here. And he seems to like all the people who come to visit him. And that's probably one because he likes Mike and I, but also because he doesn't really get that many visitors often. You want to eat? Come, let's eat. Come. But before I head out to eat, I want to take the next minute to talk to you about the sponsor of today's video, True Earth. True Earth makes a series of products that help you reduce the amount of plastic that you use in your everyday life. Take these platinum laundry strips as an example. They are one of my favorite products from True Earth, and I've been using them as I travel across Canada. And the reason why they're one of my favorites is because they are super easy to use, but also super easy to store. To use them, you would just tear open the packet, place one strip in the bin, add your clothes, and then to store them, if you were traveling like me, you could literally just tuck them into your backpack. I like to think of True Earth's laundry strips as a life hack. It's not necessarily going to make your clothes cleaner than the next laundry detergent, but it's a lot easier to use and it's convenient if you move around as much as I do. Just in case you wanted to know how thin this package really is. It literally fits in the crevice of the door. Now, if you want to try these laundry strips or any of True Earth's other products out, you can head over to their website using the link in the description below. And then if you want 10% off, use the discount code Sprouht on checkout. Thank you, True Earth, for continuing to support me as I travel across Canada. Now let's go eat some dinner. So for dinner, we've got moose stew with carrots and peas, and then mashed potatoes, which have been pan fried.
There's some kind of leaf that you put in there. I don't know what over there, see?
And then some kind of leaf that she put in there. So did you catch this moose at some point?
I think Rich did.
You caught this moose at some point?
Yeah, is that my moose?
I don't know.
Someone's moose.
Hi, Calvin.
Hi, buddy. On my final morning at this lodge, I feel like it only makes sense to try and do a little morning routine while I've got the sun rising and I've got this entire beach to myself. Well, I guess it's not to myself anymore because I can't get away from Calvin. It's not that easy to meditate out here. You would have figured that you have all this calm peace to yourself. You know, they say that the nearest neighbor from here is 60 kilometers away, but you would anticipate that you could have a little bit of privacy. Doesn't look like it. Look at the hand. I'm just trying to meditate. What do you want? Oh man, he just wants to stretch. All right, quick stretch, quick stretch, quick. All right, I want to stretch now, okay? That's enough, that's enough. That's enough, that's enough, Calvin. The next thing I'm gonna do is get a little bit of stretching in because we've been sitting a lot, but we've also been exercising yesterday, and that has made the muscles very, very stiff and sore. And then last but not least, I pull out my journal and I do 10 minutes of that. Now it's great to do it outside, and so even if it's cold, it's definitely worth the sacrifice if it means having a great start to my day and a great morning routine. If we can't deal with you, we know someone who can. He's like, oh no, not to her.
How you doing? How are all these guys doing?
Look at Susie, she's like, man, my man is just not giving me the attention I need. And he's like, my woman's not giving me the attention I need. And the babies are like, yeah, we just need more.
Mom, more milk.
So what's this?
Wagyu beef. We'll be hand making burgers for lunch today.
So Saul, you were saying your friend from Japan brought you all of this beef?
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna try it today and see what it tastes like.
And
If it's no good, we'll tell him. Right?
Solomon has a friend named Randy from Japan who, as a gift, sent over a ton of premium Japanese Wagyu beef straight from Japan. And Saul has left it untouched in his freezer ever since. So yes, for my last meal in Northern Saskatchewan, I'm making Japanese Wagyu beef burgers. Opt in for the first bite to not have any condiments so we can taste the Japanese Wagyu.
Is that good? Yeah.
Mmm. Yeah, it's really good.
Thank you, Randy.
Yeah. Thanks, Randy. Okay, I know you guys are really concentrated on staying warm. I just have one final question for you. Is it a mindset? Yes, it is. See you later. Props me. One last one. One last one. There you go.
Bye, Calvin. Bye, Big Eddie Lodge.
So while we're stopped here, I gotta ask, if you had one piece of life advice to give to anybody, what would it be?
Travel. Go see some different places in your own country.
Thank God we're doing it.
That's exactly what we're doing, and we agree with you. So
This is the Saskatchewan version of a Italian gondola.
we're here on the river in North Saskatchewan.
And we're happy to have you here. All right, let's do this. Well, this is it. Not only have I left the lodge, but today I'm also leaving Saskatchewan. If you've been here for the last 3 videos, then you're probably starting to understand how misunderstood this province is. Even though people might say it's boring and have less exciting things to do than other parts of Canada, Saskatchewan still has its own purpose. It's a province full of hardworking people, passionate sports fans, amazing landscapes, but you can't let what people say direct whether or not you visit here. I think you've got to come and experience it for yourself to figure that out. As I hop back on the train to get to my 9th Canadian province on this cross-country trip, the land of the living skies and the indigenous people of the Big Eddie Lodge will always hold a special place in my heart. But speaking of Alberta, let's see what's coming up over there. Coming up on Sprought, I head to Alberta to find the first snowfall in Banff, then make my way over to Edmonton to spend a night in North America's largest mall and cap it off with another 48-hour indigenous experience at a ranch. All of that is coming up next week, and I remind you that if you haven't already subscribed, please make sure to do so, and I'll see you over in Alberta for the next one. I'm Will, and as always, it's a mindset.